Bob. It is only July. The Reds are still just 5 games out of first because of a Dodger breakdown, and the Pirates are still just 3.5 games up on a streaking Mets club. So what's the big deal about Pittsburgh's 4-game sweep over the world champion Cincinnati Reds? Well, even though the Pirates aren't yet a lock and the Reds are not yet lost, the Pirates nevertheless put out the National League warning this weekend. Their bees are back and they are badder than ever. I don't think it's any question which fan got the upper hand this weekend at Riverfront, mainly because of that man. Barry Bonds is on a home run tear. Last year's MVP hit his 14th home run today, 3rd of the series, opened the scoring and gave Pittsburgh a 2-0 lead. Barry Larkin singling home Hal Morris. That gave the Reds the first lead of the series. It was 3-2 in the 3rd, and it was short-lived. Tied at 3. Randy Myers on the mound for the Reds. Mike LaValliere spanking over a running Eric Davis, who can't catch up. 5-3 Bucks. Then Bob Walk, the chopper up the middle. Watch Billy Doran flip it to Barry Larkin. They're going to try to get Walk at first, but he's safe. He's got the RBI. It's been a rough series at home this weekend for Lou Piniella and the Reds. They lose at 10-6. Bobby Bonilla went 4 for 4 with a 2-run homer as the middle of the Pirates' order had a hand in 7 of the 10 runs today. But before Pirate fans get too excited, the Bucks also swept the Reds in a 4-game series at Riverfront in August last season. But they should be excited about the play of Barry Bonds, who just feasted off Reds pitching in this series. He batted almost 500 with 3 home runs, drove in 11 of the Pirates' 32 runs. Bob?
Quite a picture painted at Shea Stadium today as a streak of white splashed across streaks of blue and orange created a near no-hitter and put an end to the Mets' 10-game winning streak. Today's artist was Padres starter Greg Harris, who with each pitch got closer and closer to creating the ultimate masterpiece. How masterful was it? Well, Mackey Sasser couldn't even top it. Mackey was pretty great today in right field. And look at the play of this guy with the glove into the wall, the face plant, and he's not done. He guns to second and doubles up Bip Roberts. Nice play. Later in the first, Mackey Sasser again. Doc, keep the shades on and watch this one. Goes up over the wall and robs Tony Gwynn of a home run. And that deserves a little praise, and he gets it from Rick Cerone. Top of the 6th inning now. Fred McGriff at the plate against Ron Darling, and he takes him long out of Shea. This is a solo shot. McGriff's 17th homer on the year, and the Padres take a 2-1 lead. And Greg Harris on autopilot with the curveball working today. He gets Dave Magadan just standing there. Pitch on the outside corner, struck out 6 and walked 4 to Harris, who took the no-hitter into the bottom of the 8th. But then Mackey Sasser again. It's not defense, it's offense. He breaks up the no-hitter with a ground rule double to the right center field gap. That was the only hit of the day as the Padres win this one 2-1. Harris and Craig Lefferts combined on the 14th one-hitter in San Diego history. The Padres ended their own 5-game losing streak while snapping New York's 10-game win streak, which was 1 shy of the club record. The Mets fall 3.5 back of Pittsburgh. The Dodgers and Expos in a twin bill today to make up yesterday's rainout. The Expos won the opener 3-2. Marquis Grissom doubled in 2 runs, while Oil Can Boyd ended a 3-game personal losing streak. Also, Brett Butler's hitting streak ended in that game at 23 games. Then in the nightcap, the Expos completed the sweep of L.A. 7-4. Once again, it was Marquis Grissom's RBI single in the 5th that provided the go-ahead run. So with the 2 losses, the Dodgers lead in the West slipped to 5 games. Stan?
Yes, because if timing is everything, Bob, the Braves did everything and more in their 4-game series with the Cardinals. While the Dodgers floundered in Montreal, the Braves took advantage by sweeping the Cards out of their own backyard and in the process lopping off a huge 4-game chunk of LA's lead in the West. And once again, the Braves' Tommy Glavine was left holding the smoking gun. The all-star starter for the National League had his stuff again. Struck out the side in order in the 3rd. There he gets Geronimo Pena, one of 8 strikeouts for Glavine. Ron Gant continued to drive in runs however he could. Homered the last 2 nights, that high chopper to 3rd. Todd Zeile couldn't handle it. It was 2-1 Braves. Otis Nixon pops a bunt foul. Did Todd Zeile get it? And the ump says no catch. Joe Torre had other ideas, and we'll see you later, Joe. He wasn't around to see Tom Glavine finish off a masterpiece. 7th complete game of the season, a 6-hitter, didn't walk a single batter, and the Braves needed his pitching today because they didn't come up with a lot of offense. Nevertheless, enough to get the win, and with their sweep, the Braves, who beat St. Louis for the 7th straight time, pull within a half game of second-place Cincinnati. And if Glavine keeps winning, who knows? Maybe he'll be celebrating more than just a Cy Young award in the fall.
I was a lot more relaxed out there today. You know, I think I put a little bit of pressure on myself to get off to a good start after, you know, the All-Star game and all that stuff. But that's behind me now, and I'm back out there and back comfortable and just looking forward to keeping things going.
Well, you talk about comfortable at the plate. You're looking at him. Will the thrill, effortless swing. What a day for him. 5 hits on the day, including this grand slam at the Vet, part of a career-high tying 7 RBI day as San Francisco slammed the Phillies 17-5. The 17 runs, the most ever scored by an opponent at Veterans Stadium, and the 22 hits tied a stadium record by an opponent. Matt Williams also chipped in, 2 homers for him, 4 RBIs. Kevin Mitchell, also a 3-run homer in the Giant breakout. But no one had the Giant day of the thrill. Today's line just added to his latest hot streak. Clark has hit 4 homers in his last 6 games and is 23 for 50 over his last dozen games. That is a .460 clip. And another National Leaguer on a torrid clip has been the Cubs' George Bell. His double capped a 3-run third in Chicago's win over Houston. That gave him 7 RBIs in the 4-game series. The last 3 won by the Cubs.
And that Giants score. Was it wild? Yes, but there's more of that stuff coming up. More riots at the bat rack with the American League scene on the way. And what a view for the Toronto Blue Jays. They're looking down at the rest of the East thanks to a hot start in the second half. But will the fire keep burning under the Sky Dome lights? Find out next. Blue Jays mean business in the East. Their front office traded for pitcher Tom Candiotti a couple weeks ago, and today made another move, picking up veteran outfielder Corey Snyder from the Chicago White Sox. The Jays are counting on Snyder to bolster the bench. He does have power, but it's been a limited supply the past couple seasons. Snyder's only batting .188 with 3 home runs and 11 runs batted in this year. His acquisition cost Toronto minor league outfielder Sean Jeter and a player to be named later. Well, let's see how they did at the Sky Dome tonight. Hey, look at this. The honeymoon suite. And guess we'll have to check out the action on the field for now. Top of the first, Steve Bichelle gives the Rangers an early lead. He knocks the triple off the wall in right field. That's going to get Julio Franco and Ruben Sierra around to score. That shot coming off Jimmy Key, and it was a 3-0 Texas lead. Now the Jays would cut back into it and get within a run. Hi, how are you? Let's get back to the action. Devon White sends a grounder to the hole. It's short. Mario Diaz scoops, fires, and gets White. They were rocking at the Hard Rock after that play. Top of the 5th, a 2-run lead, and Jim Akron comes in relief. Not much relief. Juan Gonzalez takes him deep for a 2-run home run. And this guy proves that fans can catch. That's nice to see. Hey, somebody get a camera in that suite. The action limited after that. Texas wins this one 8-6. The Jimmy Key, his bid for the 11th win was a no-go. Jeff Russell came on for the Rangers and got his 18th save. Joe Carter, homers number 20 and 21. Big night for Big Joe again, but it was all for naught. Dan?
Joe Hesketh would rather finish what he starts than mop up for somebody else, and even though the Red Sox pitcher didn't quite finish the job today, he did help put the brakes on Boston's 4-game losing streak. At the Metrodome, where before the game, Tony Oliva's jersey in mothballs, number 6, but Jack Clark just about got this one in mothballs. Clark had 15 RBIs in his first 45 games this season. He has 23 in his last 27. That double driving in Luis Rivera, giving Boston a 3-0 lead. And then Joe Hesketh won his first game as a starter in 5 years, getting Pedro Munoz with the nasty stuff in the 5th. He went 7 innings, scattered 7 hits, giving up just 2 earned runs. And Boston gets out of the skid. Luis Rivera chipped in with 3 hits and scored 3 runs. Rivera's batted almost 400 in his last 16 games, but even though the Red Sox slipped back into second place, they are still 7.5 games behind the Jays. Some major league heat being administered by the Angels' Chuck Finley today on the Yankees. Want to know what it sounds like and maybe hurts like to get hit by a 90-mile-an-hour fastball? Ouch! Steve Sachs will tell you. He was taken to the hospital for x-rays, and he was all right. They were negative. Top of the 4th, Finley with a 2-1 lead and getting some defensive help from Dave Winfield. Coming over to snare. Pat Kelly's flare to right. Bottom of the 4th, the Angels break it open. Bobby Rose just called up from AAA Edmonton club and taking advantage Is it going to get out? Not quite, but it's a double. That will score Dick Schofield and Luis Polonia. And watch the barehanded relay, as Polonia is just barely safe. Rose, one of 7 Angels with a pair of hits today, and California breaks a big losing streak. They snap out of a week-long offensive slump, snap that 7-game skid as Finley becomes the American League's first 13-game winner. And at the Kingdom, the Mariners' Edgar Martinez had 3 chances at hitting a double to become the first Mariner to ever hit for the cycle. But instead, he had to settle for a single homer and a triple in his first 3 at-bats as Seattle pounded lowly Cleveland for 20 hits. The Tribe has lost 28 of 34.
If you think the Seattle and California victories were big, get ready for huge. The Chicago White Sox simply chewed up Milwaukee pitching today, while the Brewers hitters were baffled by Jack McDowell. The Sox ace usually doesn't need a lot of runs to work with, but he got plenty today. Now look who showed up, our nation's first lady, enjoying a brat and a brew. Hey, come on, that's George's girl. Back off, big man. Scoreless first inning, Jack McDowell. The first Brewers batter is Paul Molitor, and he gives it up. Molitor takes him deep, his 31st career leadoff home run. But get a load of this. That was the only hit that McDowell would give up in the game. Take us to the top of the 3rd. Robin Ventura at the plate. Big day for the birthday boy, 24 years old. And a couple shots here. 2 runs in as Joey Cora and Ozzie Guillen score on his double. Ventura later homered. Happy birthday, Robin. Bottom of the 8th. It was out of hand, but not for Jack McDowell as he gets Dante Bichette just standing there. Kisses the corner with a pitch. Get a load of this. 15-1. McDowell ends up tossing the 1-hitter to earn his 11th victory. Warren Newsom, the rookie, drives in 4 of the Sox' 15 runs. Another home run derby at Tiger Stadium, this time from the Royals, and that is Kirk Gibson. Going the opposite way off Bill Gullickson for an early 2-0 Royals lead. Bill Gullickson, maybe a little payback. Beans Dave Howard in the back, when later Brian McRae says, "Don't do that to my pal." Rips the 2-run shot into the upper deck off Gullickson. The facade ball makes it 5-1, and then to cap it off, McRae later off Dan Gaekler with the grand slam, his first career salami, 5-run 8th for the Royals. It's part of an 18-4 rout. Kansas City with the team record 6 home runs. McRae and Mike McFarland each with 2. McRae drove in 6 runs today. Tom Flash Gordon snaps a 5-game losing streak to get the win. In Oakland, it took 11, but the A's pulled out a 3-2 victory. Jose Canseco with a 2-out, 2-run single to help Tony La Russa earn his 1,000th win as a manager. By the way, Sparky Anderson and Tommy Lasorda are the only other active managers to reach the 1,000-win plateau. I imagine somewhere with all those numbers, Tony La Russa will figure that into all his computer statistics, right?
Yeah, you can bet he will log that in appropriately. Up next, we'll tell you if Greg